Hello and welcome to Gaming Network. I'm Zoidberg. When I was growing up, an important part of any major sporting event was enjoying video games inspired by it against my friends or my brother. Whether that was international track and field during the Olympics, Pro Tennis Tour 2 alongside Wimbledon, or even NHL Face-Off during the hockey playoffs. They have all helped me enjoy the festivities that little bit more. Every 4 years the World Cup would roll around, and that would usually bring with it a glut of new football games to try out. These days, unless you're a fan of FIFA, which I'm not, then there's very little to play. So instead, I've turned to retro games for my feast of video game football. And since I've been playing on the A500 Mini a lot this year, it got me thinking, what were the best football games to have graced the Amiga? I've compiled what I consider to be the top 10. This is my opinion and nobody else's, so if you don't agree with any of my choices, then please feel free to let me know in the comments what you'd have chosen instead. Some of my choices may surprise you, but let's face it, nobody's going to be surprised by what's number one.
Let's kick off this list with a game that's football in the loosest sense. World Cup Soccer took the ideas from Brutal Sports Football the year before and applied them to the beautiful game. You'll spend as much time kicking the opposing team as you do the ball, and sometimes you'll even bring weapons onto the field too. It's good knockabout fun, but also the only game on this list that you wouldn't want to play in single player mode. While it may not look like much, Wembley International Soccer earns its place on my list thanks to its truly innovative passing system, and the fact that it's the only game that gives you the choice between overhead or side-on cameras. It takes a while to learn how to play it properly, which stops it from being a game for casual players, but once you master it, there's nothing else quite like it. On the Mega Drive, it's hard to match EA's original FIFA, but it's definitely a lesser experience on the Amiga. Nevertheless, developer Visual Sciences should be commended for doing a decent job of converting it. The gameplay is smooth enough, and if you play it with a 2-button pad you'll still have fun, but the much slower pace and the lower number of on-screen colours is something that will be off-putting for some. Visually, it's not much to look at, but it turns out that this was to keep Sierra Soccer's gameplay fast and flowing. Its unique approach to how set pieces work meant it was possible to score from free kicks and corners with only a little practice. It falls down a little in the way that it auto-selects the player under your control when defending, but it's never enough to stop you from enjoying a quick match.
Free kick. Free kick.
During my time as a games reviewer, playing Kickoff 2 was how the team spent our lunch break. This will be why we voted it the best Amiga game of all time when Amiga Action published its Top 100 in 1992. These days, I find it a little too erratic to truly enjoy, but it was the first game to truly nail the aftertouch. Swerving shots in off the far post had never felt this good before. Football Glory from Serious Sound developer Crow Team drew criticism for being too similar to Sensible Soccer, so they followed it up with a title that focused on indoor footy instead. Consequently, in 5-a-side soccer, you get the same great gameplay and incidental animations condensed into an enjoyable pick-up-and-play package. Less players makes for higher scorelines, and being able to bounce the ball off the walls in your attacking play is an absolute game changer. By the time Total Football came out in 1996, I'd got myself a PlayStation, and was enjoying the likes of Striker and ISS Deluxe. This deserved my attention just as much though. It opts for a viewpoint that's somewhere between the isometric view of FIFA and an overhead camera, and it works brilliantly. Even better, it's supremely playable, and surprisingly fast paced. If you missed it first time around, you should definitely seek it out. The initial reaction to Goal on release was pretty lukewarm. The more you play it, the more you realise that Dino Dini had created a proper sequel to Kickoff 2, and improved it in every way. Best forget what Anko did to that series. Through combinations of tapping or holding the fire button, you'll have an amazing amount of control over the ball, and as a result it feels a lot less like a game of pinball. Amiga Power described Grafgold's Empire Soccer better than I ever could, with just 3 words: speedball with shorts. And to be honest, you'd be hard pressed to find a more accurate summary. Although sadly there's no ice cream salesman here, matches are always fast, playable and action packed. The great looking graphics make it stand out from the crowd even more, and it looks like something that you'd find in the arcades. Was there ever any doubt as to which game would top this list? Sensible World of Soccer took everything that made the original game an absolute joy to play and added a management mode featuring practically every team from every league in the world. This game was the sole reason that I bought the joystick to go with my A500 Mini, and then produced an instructional video when it wasn't set up correctly. Because let's face it, nobody should be playing this with a joypad. That's the reason it never really worked on the Mega Drive or SNES. For me, this is not just the best football game ever made, it's the best sports game of all time. Period.